Masachet Zevahim Daf Samachdar Murad, 7 lines from the bottom. Kol Ha'olam Ha'odim Mizbeach. We said whoever goes to Mizbeach goes to the right, turns right, turns right, turns right, except for the libations and the bird Olah. You go by the southwest corner and you go back down. Gemara says, "My time. Why don't we do right turnings in those cases?" Rabbi Yachan Nesachim Shemiyat Ashenu. The reason why we don't do the libations, the water or the wine, is we're afraid that if you pass by around the entire Mizbeach, it might absorb the smoke. The reason why we don't bring the olah there also, the bird might die from the smoke. One second. What I mean if it's tira, if the Kohen Gadol is coming around the circle of Mizbeach, where does he start? From southeast. He goes to the olah of the corners, and hand in the wine to pour. Seemingly, the problem is he has the wine, so how would you not worry about the wine getting absorbed, the smoke? The Gemara says, "Rabbi Yochanan, no. Akafat beregel. First he walks around, then they give him the wine afterward. Amarava, take him to Tanya, I can also bring a proof. Notni lo yanes lenesech. They gave him the wine. Veloktani doesn't say omer lenesech. They don't tell him just to pour. Shmami, now we see from here that he didn't have the wine to begin with, and we're therefore to say that we have a concern of the wine absorbing smoke. It is a valid concern. Okay, number nine. Kol alim mizbeach, olim derech, meaning turn to the right when you go to the mizbeach. You're doing the you come down from the left side. Olim derech mizrach, you go up the east side of the ramp. You're doing the marav, you go on the west side. Hutz min ha'olad, except for these three things. Sha'olim derech marav, you go up the west side. You're doing derech marav, you go down the west side. Olim derech min, you go up the right side. You're doing min, you go down the right side. Okay. What does derech mean? What do you mean the right side? Derech small, supposed to go on the left side. Where it says Maravina Tani, small, is supposed to change it to the left. Rav Amar says, no, mine mean, what do you mean right? Yeah, I mean the right side of the beach. Umai, small, which one, small, the magavra left of the person. Meaning, depending on which way you're forced facing, when you're going up, it's the right of the beach. When you're going down, it's the right, it's the left of the person. Or it's the initial left of the person. Okay. It's the same thing. Going up, right, down, left. Why don't you just both say from the perspective of the Mizbeach? Why are you changing it? Oh, to the same perspective of the person. Why did you change it? Gemara says, "Kasha, it's a good question." I guess you could answer technically that you're going according to your your point of view. When you're going up your right, and you're going down the left. Okay. New Mishnah. Hatat of Ketzad. How would they mean the korban hatat of the bird? I am like Rashami Mu Arpa, they would do milika on the back of its neck. The inom of but you don't decapitate it. Umazid midamaha, Akim Veach, you sprinkle some of the blood on the wall of the beach. Shayarah Dam Masel, you the remainder of the blood, you squeeze it out into the base of the beach. The inom of beach Adamah, and the beach only receives the blood. You don't actually burn any meat or organs of the hatat bird on the beach. The entire bird goes to the Kohen to be eaten. And we're done. Vehizami Damach Hatat, you shall sprinkle the blood of the hatat, teaches you Miguf Hatat, from the hatat. Body. How possibly? Our head, berosh, ubaguf, umazeh. You take the head and the body and you sprinkle the blood directly from the where you cut it. Al kira mizbeach on the wall mizbeach. Below akira kiresh, but not the ramp. Below akira heichal, not the heichal's wall. Below akira aulam, not the wall of the chamber. Be'ezeh, which wall of the mizbeach? Zeh kira taton, the lower wall. The Gemara says, wait a second. Oh, you know, the kira taton, maybe the top wall, top of the wall. V'dinu, why would you say the top upper part of the wall? Uma behema sha'al talamata. In the case of an animal where you throw the blood on the lower side, hatat talamala, you throw the hatat above. Of sha'al talamala. So in the case of the olah bird, where you put it above. And then Shahatomas, so the Hatat should also go above. The Mara the Pasuk says, "V'hanish arba dami ma'aseh the remainder should be put in the bottom. Kirsha shirayin shalom etmasim, so it's referring to the blood that's already draining there. Be'ezeh, which wall is that? Zeh tatum, you put in the lower one. Meaning, if the blood is already there from the sprinkling, you pour the remaining there. Where it says, "V'na'avid mila'eh v'hadar na'avid mitachtin." So let's do some sprinkling above, like we said from the Kavach there, and then do the remainder bottom. Maybe it means both. Where it says, "No, amarava miktiv yimmase," doesn't mean that he should squeeze it. Doesn't say he should squeeze it. Yimmase, it says like it shall be squeezed to teach you. Ktiv mimel, mashma sounds like it's already dripping down. Okay. Marav Subatu Marav, Kesel Mokin Hatarav, how do you do Milikat the bird hatat? Or Hez Gapa Bishtayet Patav? You're holding the bird in your hand, the palm. You hold its wings with two fingers. You spread out the wings with two fingers. Ushtei Raglav Bishtayet Patav, and another two fingers hold the legs. Umoteah Tzavaraha Al Rohav Gudlo. You stretch out his throat over the width of your thumb. Umolakad, then you do Milikat to the back. But Matita Tanab Tzipira Melabar, the right, however, said that the bird is positioned in the opposite way. The back of the bird is on your palm. or حزق بها بشنيها بالظبط you hold the wings with two fingers وشرق بها بشنيها الثumb with two legs two fingers ومتاح تفرق على روحها في شتاء إثباتها and you stretch the throat across two fingers وملاك and then you do ملكة بزو عبدا كشف this is difficult عبدا من تمتاش ما زو هي بتلو this is the only difficult عبدا من تمتاش وهايكا كميتا وحفينا is كميتا and حفينا which is extremely difficult كميتا you have to take the three middle fingers scoop up some flour, and then use the pinky to scrape off the bottom and the thumb to scrape off the top to make sure nothing's extra. And uh, if you take off too much or you leave too much, it's pasul. So, and also hafinat also extremely difficult. If the going Gadol has the Yom Kippur has to take double amount of incense and pour it into his hands, and very difficult stuff. Gemara says no. Elokema zu avodat kasha me avodat kasha mutash. Does not mean it's the only hard service. It's one of the hard services. Okay, new Mishnah. We're halfway down Samach Dal Amud Bet in a massive Mishnah that will take us to uh till tomorrow's daf. Okay, we're gonna have a little bit of a marathon. Mishnah. Olata of Kesanasit. How do you slaughter the bird Ola? Alakevish the Kohen goes up the ramp. Upanala Solev, he turns towards the ledge right there. By located in the Miknah Haiti, then he walks to the southeast corner. Hayam Molek Idroshah Mimu or Pa, you do Milika, the back of the neck. Umabdil, he'd actually decapitate it. Unlike the Hatat. Umitat the Maha al back, he squeezes out the blood on the Mizbeach wall. Natal the Rosh Veikif Betim then takes the head that he cut off and put it where he put it where he put it the mizbeach to squeeze out the rest of the blood from the head. Usagom melech, then he uh, fills the head up. He puts a lot of salt. He puts it into salt to preserve it. He has to he has to salt it. Uzakol then he throws it onto the fire. Balaguf, then he comes back to the body of the bird. He takes off the crop and the feathers, like we said the other day. But also the whatever comes out when he rips that off, the insides that come out. And then, but and he throws into the ashes, which we said was 30 amot away. James for three. She saw he tore open the body, but it did not separate into two halves. You should tear up the body, but don't separate it into two halves. If you did separate, if you split it in half, it's okay. So if go then he saturates the body with salt and he throws it onto the fire. If you say he forgot to take off the crop of the feathers or the insides that came with that with them, or he did not put it with salt, or anything else that was done incorrectly after you squeeze out the blood, it's still kasher. So we see that the main thing has to be done correctly is the blood squeezing. Anything that you change afterwards should be done, but if you change it, it is kasher. Okay. Hivdil bahatat. We separated the head in the case of the hatat, which was not supposed to do. Or you did not separate the olah, also not supposed to do. Pasul is pasul. Mitzat dam harosh v'lo mitzat dam haguf slav. It's like by the olah you squeeze out the blood of the head, but you do not squeeze out the blood body, the body blood. It's kash pasul. Dam haguf lo mitzat dam harosh kishrav. You squeeze out the body of the blood, but you forgot to squeeze the body of the head. It's kasher. Hatat of shemilakash lo lishma. Say you did milikat bird hatat, but you had it for the wrong intention for the wrong korban. Mita the mash, you squeeze the blood for the wrong purpose. Lishma versus Lishma, I say you did it partially for purpose, partially not for purpose. Oshla Lishma Lishma, or I say you did it initially not for the right sake, then you did it for the right sake afterward. Pasu, all these are pasu. Olata off. Now in the case of Ola bird, Kishirabu Vachloy Altala Ba'alim Shimchava. It's kasher. All these things that you did it, even if you didn't include it, it's still kasher. But the owner is not going to kapara, he has to do a replacement. إحاد حتتعوف إحاد عوف. The bird or the علا the bird حتات or the علا حتات شملاكان بشميتات man لأخو دvar شجاكولا أخو أكتير دvar شجاكولا أكتير. Let's say you did milika or you spilled the blood with intentions that you're going to eat something that's supposed to be eaten or burn something that's supposed to be burnt. If you had the intention, so you're having intention, I'll eat what's supposed to be eaten, I'll burn what's supposed to be burnt, but you're having the intention to do this thing, the correct item outside the right place, it's pasul but no correct because there's no pigul because pigul only time. No pigul you had that intention to burn or eat the correct way, but it had it the wrong time, that's pigul and karet. Obviously, you also have to do the permitting factors, right? We had this prior with the animals. In order to be hayav and pigul, the permitting factors that allows you to eat or burn the item has to be done first. Now, what's ketzed karav matir? So, what type of permitting factors are required for the birds? Malak bishtika umitzahadam hutz. If he did milika without any intention and then squeezed the blood with intention for the wrong time, or shmalak husn zmano mitzad hamashlitka, if he did milika for the correct reason but for the wrong time and squeezed it out quietly without saying anything, or shmalak umita hadam husn zmano, if he did milika and squeezed the blood without for the wrong time, zeu shekaraf matir. This is the cases where he did what he's supposed to do as required, and he had the wrong intention um, regarding time, right? So even though you're having the wrong intention regarding time, you're still doing the actions, the the process correctly. So the intentions are definitely wrong, and that's what's chayav pigul and karet. But the process that you're handling it is the permitting factor, and you're doing that correctly. That's why it still works. Okay. Now, kesed lo karav matim. So what would be a case where you technically did not do the permitting factor? Malak hutzim kamo mitzahadam hutzim zmano. If he did milika outside the right place or squeeze it out beyond the wrong time, osh malak hutzim zmano mitzahadam hutzim kamo. If he did milika the wrong time and squeeze out the blood, wrong place. Again, wrong place will disable the pigul. Osh malak mitzahadam hutzim kamo. If he did milika and squeeze the blood in the wrong place. حتى تعرفش ملاك شو اسمها ميت دم حسن منه, or he did by the bird حتى يدم ملكا for the it's the right purpose but we did the blood for the wrong time أوش ملاك حسن منه ميت دم شو اسمها, or he did ملكا for the wrong time and squeezed the blood for the wrong purpose أوش ملاك ميت هدم شو اسمها, or he did ملكا and squeezed the blood for the wrong purpose. زاو شلاب كراب ماتي. These are the cases where you do not do the permitting factors. All six cases, since you do not do the permitting factors, there's no piku, no karet. Gemara says, more cases. Le'echol kizayt b'chutz kizayt machar. So the guy says, I'll have an intention to eat an olive volume of the burnt chatat outside and an olive the next day. Kizayt machar kizayt b'chutz, or an olive amount, a kizayt for the next day and a kizayt outside. Kahati zayt b'chutz, kahati machar, half outside, half tomorrow. Kahati machar, kahati zayt b'chutz, half tomorrow and half outside. Pasul in karet is a pasul without karet. Why is that the case? Because either in all these cases, the permitting factors were done incorrectly. Since he's having intention to eat it the next day, that's beyond the right time. And all the rest of the cases as well, some part of the avodah that was done was not done properly. And therefore it disables the pigul from taking effect, and therefore there's no karet. Amar Yudal the club is the rule. In Mahshevet Hazman, Kadma the Mahshevet Makom, Pigu Bahailan Karet. And now he gives a different way of summarizing. He says, no. If your time, he says, I go what you messed up first. If you had intention of the wrong time, before you had intention of something else wrong, the time hits first is Pigu no Karet. Then you had the wrong intention of place before you had the wrong intention of time. Since the place came first, that already disabled it. Therefore, there's no karet because you didn't do pikul first. But Hachamim say no. But now Hachamim is what we said earlier. So we're reiterating Hachamim. They argued they were the Tanakama. We're reiterating again. No, they say if you messed up any part of the process that's required to be done, whether it's 1, 2, 3, we don't care which order happened. If the Zman, even Zman is the last one, or the Zman is the first one, doesn't make a difference. We don't go according to the Pigul intention. Pigul intention could be first, but if you still mess up part of the main process in the second or third, no karet, no Pigul. Last part of the Mishnah. If you had intention to eat a half a kazait and to burn a half a kazait, it's kasher. So he said to eat half and burn half for the wrong time, for example, it's kasher because burning and eating are not don't combine. So basically, either you have to burn a kazayit amount for the wrong intention or eat a kazayit for the wrong intention. And if you did half and half, those two isurim don't combine into one isur and it doesn't affect the korban at all. We'll stop here.